G'day guys, Duckville here. We're going to watch a replay from the Korean server. In fact, from a stream I was watching the other night. This particular gentleman here is actually the one and only Soul Extreme. Who's that, you say? Well, that is actually my boy, Next Sickness. He's a fantastic Protoss player, of course. We've actually had a lot of replays from him lately. He is just absolutely amazing with some of the particular micro skills that he pulls out and just some of the builds. Creating some fun builds. You see a lot of stuff with Warp Prisms from time to time, and it is very, very cool to watch. His opponent is going to be a Blue Terran over on the opposite side of the map. His name is Phoenix in capitals, so you know he's shouting it, so make sure that your eyes, you kind of close your eyes because it's going to hurt. He's going to be just starting off with a standard sort of build here, but this is actually going to be a first-person replay we're going to watch from the eyes of a fantastic micro-Korean Protoss, so brace yourselves, guys, because we're going to jump straight in. There we are. We're going to see exactly what he is up to here. So the first-person VOD series, well, casts that I've been doing have actually been a bit of fun, and some people have been requesting some extra ones, and I'm totally actually watching exactly what he's doing here. He was actually typing in the chat at the time, I think, to some of us, but just actually checking out with that probe what's going on in the base of the Terran. But yeah, so this is going to be, I'm going to do a few more of these. If you have some particular casts that you wanted to see as cast from a hang on, let me rephrase that. If you wanted to see some games cast from a first-person perspective with a little bit of analysis, of course, then make sure you let me know. You either send me a mention on Twitter at DuckvilleLol, or drop me an email, duckvillelol@gmail.com, and we'll have a look at exactly what happens when the pros play, when they're actually inside, sort of inside the eyes of a pro, I suppose you could say. But as you can see here, just scouting out that very standard sort of softball there from the Terran. Phoenix is going to be perhaps looking to tech behind it, or perhaps he might be doing something else. We can see Sickness actually grabbing a second gas there pretty quickly, and we're actually going to put down the Cybernetics Core right now. There it is. So he's actually doing a bit of a quick gas build. Now, of course, double gas before the Cybernetics Core can signify a few things, of course. It can be things such as DTs. I actually, personally, when I do a DT build, I actually grab the second gas pretty quickly, of course, because the Dark Templar take a lot of gas themselves, and the Dark Shrine takes, I think it's about 10,000 gas to actually build the Dark Shrine, and about 6 years to actually build it. So you do need a lot of that gas there, and it really helps to grab that second assimilator really quickly. So we can see for the moment here that he is going to be putting up that Cyber. There it is. He's going to get that down and get the Warp Gate tech started. We've got a sentry on the way, just actually having a look at what is going on the map here. The probe just now scouting out that particular timing. This timing with the probe here just actually helps to see exactly what the Terran is up to. If you can see these Marines, as we found here, that can signify that there is going to be a pretty quick expansion, which is a bit of a common thing on this particular map, because it's obviously it's a pretty big map, and the natural expansion with the addition of the rocks off to the side really help with defending it quite easily. Now, of course, Probe is going to continually look through here just to see exactly what is happening. Of course, you really want to make sure you can get a count on how many Marines there are. In fact, as we can see here, he's actually just poking in and can see that there aren't actually too many things going on. Can see the bunker there. We just had a quick click on the bunker, which really helps in actually finding out exactly what is going on. Meanwhile, Probe's actually deciding they are not going to let that SCV actually into the base to see what is happening, and it looks as if they did actually stop that from poking around and seeing the robotics bay at the robotics facility at the back. But now that that is done, we'll probably see a particular tech. There it is. We're going to get the robotics bay up and running to perhaps build a Colossus or two. We'll see if that is going to be the plan here from Sickness. It looks as if we'll get that second gate up as well. So just going kind of standard here, very quick on that robotics bay. Which is, of course, a great way to get the Colossus up to defend against 1-1-1 builds, which are quite common on the Korean server. So that could be something in the mind of Sickness while he's getting this started. Now, we do see the Observer just popping out now, going to use that to scout out exactly what is happening in the Terran base. A great scan there by Phoenix to actually see pretty much every single thing that is actually in the base of Sickness. You can see those buildings off to the left and the gateway count to the right as well. And now with the robotics bay done, we're going to get extended thermal lance chronoed out. We do have enough money for that. We're going to see if he will have enough money to crank out a Colossus, but a prism is on the way. We've got a warp prism just popping dropping out now. Warp Gate switching in there from those gateways. We're going to see a, what's that, another observer on the way in from the robotics facility as well. So he's going to have good vision on the map and be able to spot exactly what is going on. As we mentioned, these one base sort of plays are pretty common on the Korean server to see this Terran actually just still sitting out, just sort of on that one base and not expanding. But of course that sort of contradicts what I said earlier about quick expansions. But of course we are on the Korean server where these one base games do happen quite a lot. So we'll see. Here it is, beautiful pick up there by Sickness to actually catch that Banshee before it gets inside. The Observer and 2 Stalkers ready to catch that. That was absolutely fantastic positioning there to make sure that was ready and catching that out before it gets across to the base. You can now retreat, keep everything all nice and safe, and in fact looks as if we may have a drop with the Warp Prism here. We've got 4 Zealots inside now. He's actually going to head over and perhaps do a little bit of damage, maybe get some Zealots inside while he's actually waiting to get this Colossus out. And once the Colossus tech is up, of course, that denies any of this pressure from the 111, which we could be seeing here. I can't exactly tell. It sort of looks like it from the moment here. We've got a lot of Marines out and a couple of tanks as well, but with the Colossus out, that's certainly going to deny any of that sort of pressure with some good micro. And as we can see here, just actually scouting out exactly how many units are there, which really helps with picking up on the tech that's coming from the Terran. But 2 Banshees actually getting inside the mineral line here of Sickness. A couple of Stalkers needed to warp in there, and it looks as if the Banshees will escape for the moment. It looks as if one is going to stick around to party some more, but not going to get too much done. In fact, probably going to pick that one up. No, he's not, just getting out of range before these Stalkers can deal with that. But I think, yeah, we definitely are going to be looking at a 1-1-1 push here from this Terran. He's got that Rax there with the extra reactor as well, which of course helps crank out those Marines, which are a key component, of course, providing a lot of DPS against some of the Zealots and the Immortals if they come out, that sort of thing. So this is going to have to be very very interesting here from Sickness. He is going to get the, what do they call, the gravitic boosters? I freaking hate saying that, man. There it is, Gravitic Drive, that's the one. The boosters are for the Observers, that's how I should remember it that way. But we've got the Colossus now coming out, a second Colossus just on the way as well, so he's certainly going to be safe against the 1-1-1, providing it is a standard sort of build. But looking here at what Sickness is up to, actually picking up the Colossus, and it looks as if with that extended thermal lance he should be able to do quite a lot of damage if he actually puts down those Colossus nicely in good positions here. It looks as if the Terran is aware, Phoenix is aware that is sitting off to the side there, and here comes Sickness. He's going to drop in the Colossus, picking it up, dropping it out, taking a shot, and doing some damage there. The Terran forced to actually siege up the tanks, so the tanks can actually hit the Colossus when it pops out, because they do that instant damage. But it looks as if Sickness is actually going to do a lot of damage to the front here. The Banshee's coming across to try and pick off what they can, but of course the Colossus takes a lot of shots from them, and especially when it's not actually taking shots. Fantastic micro there from Sickness, putting down the Colossus, getting it to take a shot at these supply depots, and then picking it straight up before it can take too much damage from the Banshees. In fact, not even sure that it's taken a hit. Let's have a quick look. No, it actually hasn't. It's taken a couple of shots, but it's only a couple, and given how many forces are actually here, actually getting close to losing it there, getting a really, really low on the health of that Colossus, but he's still giving it a good go to actually try and pick off the forces there. But now, with this extra group of units coming across from the side, we've got a third Colossus in the mix. We're going to have probably another one on the way pretty soon, I would expect. And now, here's that advantage of the Warp Prism. You can pick up and just drop out, let the shields regenerate on that Colossus when it's out of danger, and just smash through these Marines. Look at the damage being done here. As we can see there, they are doing a fantastic job actually picking off those Marines from afar. And we can see here that the Nexus is being put down at the natural expansion. Knows that he's pretty safe for the moment here. The Terran cannot push while these Colossus are available to do all this sort of damage here for Sickness, and it looks as if he's going to try and actually just push across to the side, do some more damage from this little edge bit here, putting down the Colossus. There it goes. You're sort of wondering, how does a Colossus fit in a prism? But it actually doesn't. They turn in, it's like in Star Trek or something, where they turn into bits of energy and that sort of stuff. It's really crazy. But anyway, three Vikings are out now for Phoenix. He is going to be able to deal with the Warp Prism despite the extra shields that it now gets since the recent patch. It is actually going to, it probably will die pretty quickly to those Vikings if they get in range, but luckily with that the drive upgrade done for the Warp Prism, he is actually in a fantastic spot to run away the Prism when needed. As we can see, Phoenix actually now pushing in with a couple of Banshees, trying to get a bit of damage done, but not really too much to do there. The pylon going down inside the natural of Phoenix, so he's not going to be able to expand as quickly as he would like to, of course. We can assume that the command center is actually up inside the natural, inside the main, sorry. So he should be able to expand once he actually gets out there and has a look. There you go. So now Sickness knows that the forces are actually outside the base, so he's free to pick off any of these units that pop out of the production facilities of Phoenix. And Phoenix losing a couple of Marines there, a little bit unfortunate. Obviously, it's not a massive game changer, but just picking off those units from time to time, if they're going to be free, may as well take it. So he's doing a fantastic job there. Let's just have a quick look at the income for both of these players. Sickness currently sitting at a total of 34. Harvesters to the 33 of Phoenix. So Phoenix actually not in the best position at the moment, given that he's had to deal with this fantastic harassment from Sickness. But looks as if we do have that push now coming through from Phoenix. He's going to try and slowly sneak these tanks across. We've got Vikings in the sky, which of course can deal, trying to drop out some Zealot bombs on top of the tanks, not actually getting in range fast enough. Looks as if the Phoenix will be able to deal with the Colossus, but they're actually being targeted down by Sickness, doing a fantastic job making sure that the Colossus don't die. We've still got 3 Colossus in the mix, a couple of probes hanging out by the robotics just to make sure that it is spinning properly, and now actually trying to push through while the Terran is unsieged. Brilliant timing there from Sickness. He is going to burn through all these units here with 3 Colossus up, and realistically only the tanks are the only thing that are going to be able to deal with them from afar. He's actually going to have a lot of trouble dealing with that. So I would think for the moment that Sickness is in a fantastic spot. Of course, we can't see everything. This is why the whole point of this this first-person perspective. But now another Warp Prism comes out, and with that speed boost, with a couple of Zealots inside, he can drop them on top of the tanks. The tanks will take damage straight away, and here we go. He is actually going to do that there with that Prism. Now moving forward with all of these forces here, dropping out a couple of Zealots to take some damage, then putting down a sentry to put a pretty hilarious little force field there, but now warping in some extra units, cleaning up that push, and that is all done and dusted. So he's in a really nice position now, going to have to deal with this Terran, who is probably expanded by this point. Of course, that push obviously provided Phoenix with a lot of cover to get his natural expansion up and running, which we can assume is there, and we'll just get a confirmation there from that observer. Yes, it is indeed. A couple of gas up as well, so it looks as if there can be some counter plays here from Phoenix. Again, if Sickness tries to push too quick, you don't want to push when that Terran is just sitting back and sieged up. So what's he going to do? Bring in that Colossus and drop it down on the production facilities. Trying to get one of those Marauders there, unfortunately not able to catch it. It was almost dead, but not actually all the way. Looks as if he is going to push in at the same time. The couple of leftover Colossus in the rest of the attack force are actually going to come in here, dropping out that Colossus to make sure it can get some damage done before the Prism dies, taking the Prism back into pylon mode, actually able to warp in more units there, putting a few force fields down on the ramp. Fantastic stuff here from Sickness. He's just done a magnificent job of actually harassing this Terran, keeping his economy going, whilst actually stopping this Terran from getting too far ahead in his own economy. So we can see now the push is probably going to come up that ramp there. Colossus from the side is going to deal with that tank, and it looks as if we're going to have that final push in here from Sickness, doing a great job there, pushing through, taking the tank down, and that is going to be all she wrote, I would say. The Terran, for some reason, trying to float the orbital command around, but there you go. That is done and dusted. Fantastic stuff from Sickness there. As we said, getting the Colossus up to do some harassment with the Speed Prism, and then actually just pushing in with that final attack and warping in some more units with the Prism, which was hanging out here. Pretty much, that was the second Prism, but effectively the two of them did a fantastic job the whole game. So, hope you guys enjoyed that one. We'll hopefully see some more of Sickness in the near future. You can catch him on twitch.tv/nextsickness. He's streaming there from time to time, and of course there are replays out there of him as well, and surely I'll be doing some more casts myself. So hope you guys had fun. That was a lot of fun to see that from the first person perspective. If you want to see more, let me know. Cheers.